Hello and welcome back to the Hustle Detox. This is Module 2, Exploration. My name's Kate Cashman and it's a beautiful pleasure to be here for your second module. This is my second and last week. Mish is going to be taking over for our alignment and implementation models after Module 2. So, how did you go with week 1? Resting, renewing, feeling like you're embracing flow and getting out of the hustle, all of those things really required us to sit back, make an assessment of where we feel the pressure to feel hustled, also where we feel cluttered and where we can actually declutter, whether it's our physical space, emotional, mental, spiritual, all of those things. And whether or not you can embrace or learn from the slow revolution. But most importantly, in Module 1, we made a commitment to ourselves. And that commitment was all about what is it I want to achieve for myself or even just feel into with the Hustle Detox. What is my intention? And I want you to revisit that regularly. Is your intention something that you can carry with you throughout this program? So what are we talking about today and over the course of the next few videos? We're talking about exploration. So we always have to begin with an understanding of where we are, but in terms of suddenly jumping in and applying changes or shifting changes, we need to have a period of exploration. And it's the next step from understanding. It basically takes the level of understanding of what is real for us, what's come up for us, and then moving from that to, okay, if I know where I feel the hustle, what is it about my life that's actually feeling really good? What is it that I can explore and learn to understand more of before I then work out whether what I would love to have in terms of my life and rest and renewal, whether or not that is what I have, is it currently in alignment? If not, how can I create alignment and what does alignment look like to me? And then finally, how do I implement all of these shifts? So this second stage is super, super, super important. And for us, it's also going to be about exploring rest in a bit more detail. This is an area that I'm really, really passionate about. It's my area of expertise in my coaching work. And so I'm really excited to ask you perhaps some really challenging questions around rest, but things that I think are really, really important. So I'm going to get up the slides now and share that screen with you so that we have the slides here. Okay, we've talked a little bit about what we're going to explore in terms of what we explored in Module 1. Now we're going to focus on what we are exploring in Module 2. So in Module 2, we're going to focus on looking through our personal values and mission. And these are really, really important because these can help dictate how we live our lives. Rest and renewal, as I said, I'm really excited to dive into that. I'm going to talk a little bit about meditation for modern life and what I see meditation for modern life to look and feel like. We're going to talk a little bit about flow and also what our definition of life leadership is. Because a lot of people talk about leadership in a work capacity, in professional capacities, but I'm inviting you to step into what I call life leadership. And I'm really excited to bring that topic to you. So let's dive in to our next slide. I want to start with this reminder to you all. I can do hard things. This is actually something that a previous coaching client of mine touched on when we had a session one day. And she was talking about the fact that this became an affirmation of sorts. So when she would wake up, she would ask herself the question, can I do the things that I need to do today that might be hard? And when you frame your affirmations in questions, it allows you to consistently step into them throughout the course of the day, more so than a blanket statement. But here, this statement is the answer to that question. And it's a reminder to you all that even when everyone around you is hustling, when everyone around you might be feeling like they need to keep up with the Joneses in terms of hustle and work and enrolling themselves and their children in every activity under the sun because everyone else does it, you know that in your heart you can live differently to that. You know that with some periods of change and some periods of growth, that there will be times where you are really busy. But then you also will know that recovery is so important, and that making your life at that level of busyness is not great for your health, it's not great for your family, it's not great for anything. So even when it feels really, really hard, you can do hard things. Absolutely. And if detoxing from hustle and embracing some of the things that we talk about is one of those hard things, then I'm here to remind you that you can absolutely do that. And we're here to support you with that. Now that I've reminded you of that, I want to touch base on core values. And this is going to end the first video because this is quite a meaty topic. So what are core values? Core values are our fundamental beliefs, guiding principles, or as we often call them, Mish and I, the boundaries that you set for yourself. When you are setting a boundary about what is or isn't acceptable, or what is or is not important, in some small or large way, you are setting yourself and your core values with other people, with what you do, and for yourself. You're living your core values. Now, for me, when I think about the term success, to me, success is not just about meeting all of my goals in my business, in making more money, in living in a bigger house. To me, a successful life is one where I live in alignment with my core values. And that is something that is so, so important. So how do we live in alignment with our core values if we don't really know what they are? Now, subconsciously, you absolutely do. And what we're here to help you do is to uncover what is already inside of you. That's what we do as coaches. It's about self-actualization. You're probably living your core values in some way, shape, or form every day, or you feel them if a boundary is crossed or you do something that doesn't feel in alignment. That's another indicator of what you most value. But sometimes really outlining what they are can help give you the boundaries that you so desperately feel that you need and that you might seek. Now, core values are something that you can do as an exercise in terms of assessing what they are, and I'll show you the worksheet in a moment, but it can also be something that guides the way you live your life. And I want to give you an example of this. This is something that has helped me and my family embrace joy, live life more simply. We have a closer level of connection. And that is because we sat down as a family and as individuals, my husband and I, and did these worksheets for ourselves. So this is an invitation for you to do this for yourself, but also to do it for your family. If you have another person or people that you live with, you can do this as a family activity. And our family values are quite closely aligned to individual values, but often they can be quite different. And in terms of living your values, can be a way to explore your passions and to live on purpose. So a lot of people come to me and they say, Kate, I just feel like there's this purpose out there that I need to grab hold of. And if I absolutely aren't living it, all of these ads on Facebook are telling me that I need to invest all this money to find it. I need to find my why and find my purpose. Now, I like to reframe that because I definitely don't believe that there is only one purpose in life. I feel like there are ways where you can create a mission statement for yourself in terms of utilizing the skills that you have, the core values that you have, the change that you would love to see in the world. But I certainly don't believe that there's only one way to execute that. So when it comes to your core values, these can be ways that you show up in the world. And I must warn you though, that doing this activity can mean that your entire perspective of your everyday life shifts and your entire perspective of living on purpose. One of my other previous clients came to me saying, I feel like there's this greater purpose in my life, that I'm missing out on it. And there was this level of desperation in her voice and in our conversations, because she felt like there was more and that there was something she needed to grasp for. And yes, she may have wanted to change careers at some stage in her life, but one of the greatest reflections for her was that she felt like there was no longer the pressure to achieve her purpose through her work, and actually it was focusing on purpose through living her values. Now, this particular person was an amazing friend to everyone in her life. She was the most incredible listener. Connection and relationships were two of her core values. Now, she could have potentially used one of those two words to represent both, but for her, when she realized that was what was most important to her, they were the things that meant she was living purposefully. I don't know if this is a new concept for you, but in terms of living on purpose as opposed to living your purpose, core values to me are very central to that. So in terms of creating a personal mission statement, this is something that you can do in addition to your core values. It's about taking the areas that you are most skilled or things that come most naturally to you. So it might be teaching, supporting, facilitating, nurturing, inspiring, whatever those action words are, combining those with some of your superpowers, the skills that you have the most in your life, and then combining those two things to create a change that you would like to see in the world. And to give you an example of this, this is not necessarily an activity here, it's just something for you to think about, and we can talk about it more in the group and our calls. But a personal mission statement for me is about using my passion and energy to inspire and facilitate a more balanced and joyful life for those I work with and those in my life. So it's about taking those skills, the passion and energy that I have, and anyone that knows me knows I'm full of energy. Inspiring and facilitating / teaching are two of my also superpower skills, and combining that with I want to see the world embrace a greater sense of balance and flow. Now you can see how professionally that can be achieved in a number of ways. The Hustle Detox is one of them. Coaching is another one. Volunteering for not-for-profits on meditations and teenagers, another one. So having a personal mission statement can be another way in addition to your core values that can help you live on purpose. So these are the worksheets. I'm just going to show them to you here, and now I'm going to stop this video and invite you to do this first worksheet. It's about selecting 8 words that jump out of the page. Now, it takes me 2 or 3 goes. I circle a lot more than those to start with, and then I look at which words to me can often mean the same thing. Some of my personal values are things like simplicity, adventure, energy, connection, family, and health. I also have courage in there. And I realized when I was picking more than a couple of words that actually some of these words could represent the same. And my only way of approaching this task is just to go through the words and see what jumps out at you. What is it that you would love to have as a guiding force in your life? And then how can you bring that out? We can talk about that more in the group as well. So I invite you now to go through this core values worksheet and absolutely lean into this idea of core values. I'm really, really excited to see and hear what some of your core values are in the Hustle Detox's Facebook group. So I'll be coming back with video 2 very, very soon, and good luck with the first worksheet for this module. See you soon.